back to the channel in another reaction video. So we are back with some more Scooby-Doo. So I was off for a while because I got distracted by playing another game for my other channel that I'm resurrecting. And also family holidays and just general busyness, including, still applying and doing interviews for other jobs. And there's one that's kind of in the pipeline. So hopefully that one will go ahead, but we'll see. I never got around to doing the finale for What's New Scooby-Doo. There's still 8 episodes left in the second season, but I needed to finish off first season first, which I'm really excited about because it's called the Lochness Mess, the Harlem Globetrotters. So this one was released on December 23rd, 1972. It's the 16th episode and the finale of the first season of the new Scooby-Doo movies. And it's also the 41st series episode overall. So really excited about this one because this one was rated rather highly. So I'm going to do my usual for the new Scooby-Doo movies where I go through the first about 30 minutes just watching it all myself. And then I push in on the last 13 minutes and then cut that down to about 8 or 9 minutes. So basically what I do, because they're a bit big and it just helps with copyright and just in general, just enjoyment, because I'll still be watching it by myself. So here's a little bit of a review just to get you in the loop. We'll start off with the premise first. On a trip to Shaggy's Uncle Nathaniel's house, the kids in the Harlem Globetrotters must again solve a mystery involving 3 ghosts and a sea serpent who are trying to keep everyone away from a cove that contains a sunken ship filled with treasure. So Uncle Nathaniel looks exactly like Shaggy. You'll see when we get into it, but his great uncle, pretty interesting. It was the last one to air in 1972. Shaggy drives the mystery machine for the first time, and then he drives it again in the Scooby-Doo show. Goes to the Bad Humor Man, aired in 1976, and then would continue throughout that. And then the Scooby Gang also has 2 more mysteries involving the Loch Ness Monster. One is the Scooby-Doo show episode Highland Fling with the Monsters Thing. And then, of course, that movie, it's one of my favorites from What's New Scooby-Doo. Great stuff right there. And I'm also just coming off of a week of being sick all week during Thanksgiving break. So it's a bit I kind of sound a little bit scratchy. All right, so here's some actual reviewing. So they go to Boston, like I said, and there they see the Globetrotters again who are looking for some peace and quiet. So they go to Shaggy's uncle's, who's rich, 75-room house. And then as they're there, a sea serpent emerges from the lake, and it's supposed to be Loch Ness Monster, but he looks kind of super freaky. Doesn't look very Loch Ness Monster-y. The gang splits up with Shaggy driving the mystery machine since he's the only one that knows how to get to his uncle's place, so he takes the wheel. Everybody follows behind him in the Globetrotter bus, and that's when, as they're driving during the night, a ghost appears and warns them to go away. Fred calls it Paul Revere, even though it doesn't really look like him at all. And then Uncle Nat says a lot of weird things happen in the area, and that whoever put out the sign that says "Don't go this way" wasn't him. Once they're at Nathaniel's house, Shaggy and Scooby then tour around. They find an old photo album where we see Scooby at 3 months old, which is pretty cool, chilling on a bear rug. And it's also kind of one of the continuity things of like that future series kind of ruin and kind of make fun of is how they came to be together. And then while everyone's asleep, a ghost on a horse pretending to be Paul Revere. So my notes are wrong. The second ghost was Paul Revere. The first ghost is just kind of a other guy. Let me see. Okay, so the other guy is a Minuteman. That's what the trivia says. Uncle Nat warns them about the sea serpent, and then afterwards the gang try to rent a vote. However, the owner tells them they're closed, and then the gang threatened to complain and call the police. So he reluctantly agrees to let them rent, which seems kind of, scummy. But it's whatever. And then under their breath, the boat rental owners and Morgan calls them idiots as he doesn't want anyone around as the Globetrotters water ski in the water. And then at the bottom of the cove, Scooby and a few of the Globetrotters spot a sunken boat, but as they get close to it, the sea serpent scares them off, so they run away, and then they go and ask Uncle Nat some more information, and he tells them that he's almost ready to sell his property, and that he's finally going to get rid of it. And that's when we learn that the boat shop owners are named Winslow and Selby, so those 3 are our suspects, Morgan, Winslow, Selby, because those are the only characters that are really named besides Uncle Nat, and I don't think he'll, sea serpent his own place. And that's when Uncle Nat says basically that he's too tired of the ghost, even though he's stubborn. So he's just done at that point. And I think that's where we're gonna end off, because asking for more information, and here we go.
How much do you know about this creature, Uncle Nat? Have you ever seen it? Nope. But about all I know is that up till now, it's only been seen at night.
Like just like those
Okay.
ghosts.
Right. Matter of fact, between those ghosts on land and that creature in the cove, most folks have moved out of these parts.
Gosh, Uncle Nat, you're sure brave to stick it out.
Nope, just stubborn.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, that's what I just mentioned.
That's the Yankee spirit, Uncle Nat.
Just trying to give a good intro part of it.
Winslow and Selby sure tempt the spirit. You mean those guys at the dock? The ones what didn't want to run up the boats? The same. I guess we ought to go down to the cove tonight.
Yeah, they're definitely suspicious because they're also the only other named characters.
Between those ghosts and our Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. There's like 10
Famous Loch Ness
Globetrotters, but only
It's
3
supposed to
ever
be a sea
talk
serpent
at
that people claim to
once.
see every so often.
Yet nobody has ever taken a photograph of it. And I, for one, just plain don't believe in sea serpents.
And it's kind of funny because there's 3 different versions of the Loch Ness Monster in this show. One in Boston, one in Scotland, one in Ireland, I think,
All right, all those names.
based off of the different
Don't
movies.
raise your hand. There you are, Freddy boy. You're a volunteer army.
Yeah, they don't have voice actors for you guys, probably.
Well, you're gonna have a detail too. Oh yeah, I forgot. If you'd rather stay here alone with that friendly ghost with the lantern. Ghost?
They want to go with Fred and them, but Uncle Nat's staying by himself anyways, so you'd at least be with somebody.
I call it a catastrophe.
Who goes and who stays? We can't all fit in one boat.
Scoob and I will be glad to make room for somebody else. Just a minute. I need you. Why? You know how bad my eyesight is at night? Me too.
Freaking Shaggy in this episode, man.
I don't believe it. Seeing is believing for me, buddy. Bye.
Yeah, they had to make them do something together. The ghost showed up and chased them away. They got stuck in that chimney, but then he sneezes and falls out. Like, come on, man. There's no way you would have been able to climb in that chimney without sneezing, and then end up, right when the ghosts walk in, end up sneezing. Well, that was easy. Locked them
What
up.
do you think, guys? We've been here an hour, and we haven't seen anything but Scooby's reflection. Should we give it up? Maybe it is a wild goose chase. I'm all for it. Never was too fond of wild goose anyway. Me too.
Yeah, you never know where the sea monster's at. Oh, of course, as soon as they say they're gonna give up, the sea monster shows up. He showed up quick, and he breathes fire. Holy crap.
Faster, faster, he's gaining on us.
4 dudes can outrun a giant sea monster. Somewhat.
There goes Scooby.
Scooby was not off that boat when it re-landed. Aw, dang, it's fake.
Hang on, Scoob.
Who would have known?
Suspect that our sea serpent is nothing but a lot of hot air.
No crap, Fred. It's literally deflating as we speak. Oh, okay. So, it's probably so the sea monster was probably just a giant inflatable raft with like a propeller boat in it, but it was like remote controlled or something. Easy peasy.
Name's Morgan. Been around here for a spell. Don't rightly know what he does.
He invented that fake sea serpent for one thing.
And he made us go around in these ghost outfits, scaring people away.
Oh, they're gonna give the reveal. Okay.
A remote control. Oh,
Yeah.
This is how he manipulated that serpent.
And it was working fine till you gang of snoopers came around.
But why? Why
Those
do
guys are all voiced by the same
people
guy.
away?
Yeah, Morgan Winslow. Yep, all the same guy, John Stevenson. Yeah, he's been a lot of bad guys in this series. And there's some nice history in it too.
Why, I've known about that for 30 years. It's a fake, a dummy, like your sea serpent. Years ago, a movie company made a motion picture here because of the extra clear water. It was called Sunken Treasure. Right? As phony as the
So they sunk a real ship for a movie?
when the movie was finished.
That's a lot of budget, man.
You refuse to be scared off, Uncle Nat? Shucks, it'd take a lot more than some phony ghost to scare the likes of us, huh?
Freaking Shaggy.
Oh no, not again.
He fit into that costume really well, though. Alright, and that was it for the Lochness Mess and the season finale of the first season of the What's New Scooby-Doo Movies. I think I would rate this episode an 8 out of 10, so tied with The Secret of Shark Island. I really enjoyed it. It had a lot of fun moments and really interesting stuff to it that really brought the mojo, essentially, and really made me have a lot of fun in the episode. The trio white ghosts wasn't very interesting, to be honest. It just had a lot of dumb parts to it, but overall it was a pretty fun one, and it had a lot of interesting, like, I love Harlem Globetrotters to show up random places and they're immediately a part of, like, okay, let's do this thing, let's do an adventure. Basically, it's always so fun to see. I think for me, there was some moments that were like legitimately spooky kind of thing. I liked everybody's designs. Harlem Globetrotters, they have like 10 of them, and it just happened to be after the show wrapped, so you're probably supposed to know them if you watch like Boomerang together. But for me, they each got a line, but only like 2 or 3 of them were any memorable, like had moments into the story. But it's usually just the Harlem Globetrotters just kind of hanging out while the Scooby Gang does everything. I feel like they don't like pertain to the plot exactly like some of the other guest stars, but they're still real fun characters that kind of take part. And Uncle Nathaniel, the great uncle of Shaggy, was a funny character that I feel like was really well done, and I would have loved to see more of him in future Scooby-Doo's, but he he's one of those characters that's a relative, but that doesn't show up ever again. And overall, a lot of these episodes actually ended up being a 6 or higher. So even though it's a bit of a slog being so short, it definitely helped my rating. Just kind of taking them at pace and trying to get through them. My final tally on these episodes, and of course, ratings are subject to change. Maybe when I'm halfway through the series, maybe during the off time during movie parts, and where I'm not reacting to any episodes. When there's a lot of movies, I can go back and I can re-rate all my episodes. But this season, at the end, I gave in total a 4.88 total rating for average score between all the 16 episodes. So season 1 of this is 4.88, and I believe I gave, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? I gave both of those series a 6 out of 10. So I think a 5 out of 10 is perfect for this one, averaged out, because I did enjoy less than half, but I think it about matches up with the 16 episodes. So I think that's a good one, and really evens out to something I can believe in, because I didn't want to be too strong when I didn't really care for it. And I will move forward with the second season very shortly. Gonna get back right into the thick of things. Gonna try to manage my time better and edit both series at once without, missing anything or doing anything dumb. So I'm going to go back to probably reacting to 6 episodes every week, like I have been doing with 3 episodes in 1 day. So I'll probably split the last season like I did with the Where Are You, with 4 episodes and then 4 episodes just to get it all finished and done with, to make up for some lost time before we get into the new Scooby-Doo show. And then at that point, I could really get into the fun part, and as we get back into of the shorter parts of the series, which is what the interesting thing is going to be. So I think that's going to do it from me. Just a little bit of kind of rehashing as we get into the latter part of the new Scooby-Doo movies, which was season 2. This depends on if I have time to edit them, because I got stuff going on as always. But I'm going to try to do 4 and 4 and just finish off the new Scooby-Doo movies before we get into the Scooby-Doo show. So thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you in the next reaction. Have a great day.